Good morning, Proto Crew. Welcome back. Hopefully y'all are doing well today. Back in it today again for this week. Hopefully a little better than last week. Last week wasn't too hot. But yeah, kind of jumping into this. I kind of had a little bit of a rundown on Friday, and then we kind of ran sideways into the weekend. And then Sunday we actually ended up starting to do a little bit of an up move, and then today we've kind of fallen off of it a little bit, and we're kind of sitting here around, well, I guess Sunday into Monday we kind of had an up move, with Monday being kind of all over the place, and then we ended up moving in the afternoon here on Monday, around, I believe it's like 1 o'clock into last night. We have a full video kind of talking about price action Monday, and just jumping into different TA things that we kind of learned from that, and also just how the system worked and how it kind of ran through that, and just different things you can kind of look at with the system, as well as just TA and some stuff like that, and also just kind of looking into longer time frames as well. So if you're looking to check that out, go ahead and look it up on our channel. It'll be coming out here at 10. So if you go ahead and hit that bell notification right there under the video, you can go ahead and check that out. Happy St. Patrick's Day though to y'all. So welcome to the stream. Hopefully you all having a good St. Patrick's Day so far. Hopefully you remember to wear some green for today, and you're not going to get pinched. I got some coffee today. Didn't have it with breakfast, so decided to bring it onto the live. Got our Buc-ee's cup again. Don't know if I'm allowed to show that, I guess, but who cares? I guess it doesn't really matter. There's always logos and stuff on the screen, so yeah. Technically, this isn't actually a Buc-ee's cup, though. That's just a sticker. But yeah, thanks for coming. Hopefully y'all are doing well. We'll kind of jump right into it here. These are actually the lines from yesterday, so we haven't got those set up yet, but we'll go ahead and flip over to that screen right now and see what we can get set up. So we got the market radar up here already, up and running. Looks like we got a little bit of a bullish lean for BTC, with a little bit of bullish lean also for ETH. Other than that, we got a little bit of a downside to Bitcoin, with the gap being over 0.5 down on the downside. Ethereum doesn't have the same. 0.37 is too low for Ethereum, so we're not too worried about the downside here on Ethereum. Solana overall is just too low on bulls, so we don't have to worry about that one at all. We're looking for a BTC possible up move today. Why would I pick up move over down move? Simply because you got BTC showing up move, and then you also got ETH showing an up move as well. So more than likely we're going to get that up move today, is what I would say. Now, could it go down? Yeah, it could go down, and if it starts to go down, we'll be looking for that BTC short as well. So really kind of a good day. We can kind of play either way. If it does go to the downside, we're looking at a jailbreak. So that's a good downside trade if we do get that. Jailbreak just means that the support or the resistance, depending on which way you're going. For this case, it would be our support. Our support line is going to be in between our breakout and breakdown lines. And that basically just means that it's going to be somewhat of a better runner. Whenever you have it on the outside, we'll call it a magnet trade. So typically what you'll see if you have the either the support or the resistance, in this case we're looking to the upside. So for the resistance here will be on the outside, and basically what we're looking for is to trade up to there. So there's actually an example of this right here. So you can see we got our resistance here and our breakout trade is here. Obviously these are old lines, but basically the trade would be you'd take it from here up to this resistance here. That would be a magnet trade, because basically what we found is when you break out of here and get that close after the 8:30 candle, and after the 8:30 candle. So once this closes, once we get, or 8:30, 8:45 candle, I guess is what probably a better way to say it. But after 8:45, if you look here and you get to close above both the predator line, so whatever the top and the bottom of the 8:30 to 8:45 candle is, and also above the breakout line, then we'll take the trade and you take it up to here, because more than likely price action is going to run up to there. That's just what we found on our system, and that's basically the basics of our system. Obviously we have the jailbreak trade as well, and that one's a little bit different. For that one we'll actually use real targets, and I mean we'll throw real targets on here as well, excuse me, because typically you'll want to be watching it. Sometimes target 2 might be like right here, or just something like that, and so maybe you want to get out just a little bit before the resistance. Just kind of things to be watching, kind of learn as you go though on that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's set up the charts. So we got BTC right here, we got our long already showing on here, but we're gonna go ahead and throw the lines on our chart. So to do that here on the market radar screen, I know normally we use the operator suite, but this is actually kind of phasing out the operator suite. This is just a better way to do it. It's a lot easier way to do it. Basically what you'll do is you got your Bitcoin here, and this is the one you want to use, right? Because we're on the Bitcoin chart. So we'll go ahead and hit the data button, and this will actually copy all of the data that we normally get from the operator suite. So we'll copy that data, we'll head back to our trade view here, and we're going to go ahead and open our indicator and paste it right into there, and that'll give us our new lines for today. So this is what it's looking like. Kind of interesting price action honestly today with our 30-minute candle range, and this is the true 30-minute candle range. So this is from our 7:30 candle, I believe, high and low. It is from the this candle here, high and low. It is from the what do they call that, spot market, so it's not actually the futures candle. The one I have on my chart, I use the futures chart to trade and put stuff on there, but the way that we ran the indicator, we found that the spot market is actually more accurate. So whenever you see it, you might be like, oh, it's off a little bit. That's why. It's because it's actually the spot candle and not the futures candle. But yeah, it is interesting. It's down here a little bit. Typically what you'll see is it'll be pretty close to either one of the sides, and we're not really there yet. Do have some nice some nice liquidity up here, with two support and resistances from the higher time frames being right there. We basically refer to this kind of as being pretty close to what Bookmap does with their indicators. Obviously we don't use the order books like they do, but we found that it's pretty close, pretty accurate to the hotspots that they kind of show on their thing based off of the order book, and ours are just different support and resistance lines. So yeah, pretty nice to see that. That kind of tells us that we more than likely will see price action break up and close or come up into here. So that's a pretty good sign here on the market. We'll see what happens today. You know, anything can happen. But if we do get that break up, there's a possibility we run up here, maybe make a double top and then break back down. We'll see a little bit of a down run tomorrow. Overall, like I said, we talked about this in our recap, but the market is looking like it's going to need some sort of pullback here. Or not recap, sorry. Our video coming out at 10 will be talking about this kind of price action and stuff. But yeah, we're looking for that pullback here pretty soon. Maybe not a full giant pullback like, oh man, we're gonna go to zero again kind of attitude. That seems to be common now, but we are looking for a little bit more of a pullback, reset some stuff, get the chart more like back into that ready to fire zone, and then we'll move off to the upside. We got another 5 minutes or so here on this predator candle, and then we'll see which way we can kind of launch from there. But it is looking like a pretty good day so far. Let's throw the trade on here, kind of see what we got for the trade. So we'll head on back to Kuroda. We're going to open up the cockpit here, so we'll click on lock target. That'll open up this, and you can see we got our all our trades here. So today we actually have the short and the long. That's because both of them have actually set up on the thing. Obviously the long was the favored one, so if you go back to here, you can see that our long has a star next to it. That means it's the favored one today, and that's based off of this these two little things over here. So you got your macro and your micro trends. Macro is bullish, and so is the micro today. And the micro is just basically a rolling 7-day period, whereas the macro is going to be a 7-day period from the beginning of the week. So sometimes you'll see these conflict. It's definitely happened before. This one could flip to be bearish tomorrow, especially if we're looking more bearish tomorrow. It kind of just depends on what's happening. So as of right now, they are both bullish, which means the long is going to be the favored one today because it's the one that kind of goes with the trend of the market. And yeah, so basically what we'll do is we'll open up that lock target. That's the one we want to have, is that long. The short is a possibility, like I said, so that's why it's on here. That's why you can copy it. If you use a bigger screen, you can also just copy the different targets and stuff out of here and throw them on your chart if you want to do it that way. But the easiest way to do it is to use our indicator. So we'll go ahead and hit copy trade key here, and we'll head back to our charts here, and we'll open up our trade indicator here and throw it on there. And now you can see we got that all populated. Interesting, like I was saying, target 2 is right below the daily resistance, so that's kind of interesting that it's there. That could mean that we need to be looking to maybe take it off right here. It could mean you want to jump out a little bit early. It kind of just depends on how it goes. So if we throw our trade actually on there here, we'll be getting in here, throw our stop down here, and we'll be running it all the way up. So if we ran just to target 2, we'd get about a 1.3. If we ran all the way up to the target of our daily resistance, we'd get about 1.5 to 1 or so, maybe a little bit better depending on where you take it out. Personally, I'd probably take it out closer to just be in this range, because typically, like I said, these are support and resistance lines. So if it does come up here more than it could go up and hit this, and that's not uncommon, I guess, but it could also just kind of come into here and reject, and it would still be rejecting off of this resistance line, because if you've been around before, you know that we always talk about how support and resistance lines are more of zones than they are of just like straight lines. So you can see the line here, and you know that's great. It's based off of math. It's good. It's obviously a good indicator on where the line or where the resistance actually is. But you want to make sure that you're kind of ready if the resistance isn't exactly perfect, like on the dot where the actual resistance is. You want to see price action actually like come up, and you want to watch it right there, because it could just reject off of the kind of zone that the resistance is actually in. But yeah, that's kind of the trade outlook for today, and that's kind of what we're looking at here on Bitcoin. So as far as the trade goes, that's what we'd be looking at, like I was saying. We'll head to Ethereum now and kind of set up this one. Looks like they got the leap started. These are some older lines, like I was saying as well. Looks like we got a couple of different resistance and support zones here going throughout Ethereum. We'll go ahead and get our lines first. So if y'all remember, we'll go back to our radar screen, click on data. That's going to copy it to our clipboard. And then we can go back here to the chart, and we'll open up our indicator and go ahead and paste the new data strand in there. All right, so this is what it's looking like. We got our breakout zone way up here in green. Daily resistance is right here in the red, so we do have a jailbreak to the upside, so Ethereum could continue up. This zone right here is kind of telling us that it more than likely will just come up to here if it does go to the upside. Based off of how the levels are kind of forming, I would say Ethereum almost looks like it has a possibility of breaking down here. Obviously, our gap is not good enough here on Ethereum, so if it does end up breaking down, it's not something that our system is going to be calling. It's just based off of how I've kind of seen the system behave before, especially in just with how it's kind of set up right now. Typically you'll see the 30-minute range kind of be closer to whatever side that we're going to break out to, and you also see the predator line kind of form closer to whatever side we're going to break out to. And I would say it looks pretty close to being more to that downside. Bitcoin is close to. I would still kind of look at this as more in the middle of the two. So I wouldn't really say like, oh, we're gonna go down just because of how Bitcoin's set up. I don't know. It's just kind of out there, I guess, on both of them, really. So yeah, that's kind of showing that there's a possibility of downside here on Ethereum, but you know, there's also that upside that's actually there on our system that its system's calling. So as of right now, it is calling for that up move. That's what we're looking for, is that up move. We're looking for it to close. But like I said, if it does end up breaking down, then we'll be taking that Bitcoin trade to the downside. Let's go ahead and set up the trade here on Ethereum. So we'll go in to the cockpit, click on lock target. We're going to go to the long trade, and you can see that Ethereum doesn't have anything over here on the short side. That's because there is no trade for the shorts today, because the gap is too small. So basically there won't be any kind of trade in here that you can look at. Yeah, I mean, you could still set it up on your chart and look at the trade or whatever. It's just the system isn't actually calling it, and the system has no possibility of calling that today, so there is no short trade today. It's essentially what it's saying. All right, so we copied our long, and so we'll go back to our screen here, open up our indicator here, and we'll go ahead and paste our new trade levels in here. So I actually have a different indicator on the two charts for the trade, but works basically the same. So here's our entry, we got our stop down here, and then our targets are up to the upside here. If we throw the trade on here with our different targets, we'll say we'll take it up to 2 just to be safe. We make about a 1-to-1. If you take it all the way up to 3, you make a little bit more at a 1, almost 2-to-1. 1.9, almost 2-to-1. But more than likely, the chart typically will run up to that 2-to-1, and that's what you'll see. Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at for today. So, like I said, it'll really depend on which way price action kind of runs. As of right now, we are looking more to the upside, like I was saying. That's what I'd be kind of looking for on both the charts, is more of that upside trade. Obviously, that's the way our system's leaning, so it makes sense to lean that way. As far as like the whole of TA is looking at, like longer time frames included, we do need that pullback. So there is that possibility that we do run down today. And if like I said, we're kind of right now, we're just being patient. We're kind of open-minded. We're waiting around. We basically are waiting for the chart to kind of pick a direction and tell us, you know, like, hey, I'm going to go up. Hey, I'm going to go down. And once it picks that direction, that's when we'll actually end up kind of looking for that trade and taking it to the either side. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot going on right now as far as the trades happening. Like I said, possibility up to the upside, possibility to the downside, but we have not picked a direction either way. Honestly, what you could do if you're just not interested in kind of sitting around your computer, or maybe you will be around it, but you just don't want to do, like, you want to do something else where you're not going to keep your eyes like right on the charts the whole time. You could set up some different indicator lines. What do they call it? Alert lines. So we'll go ahead and just throw like any kind of line, and it doesn't really matter. We'll use some horizontal rays here on our charts. You can kind of throw them like I did, just a little bit off of both the breakout and the breakdown line, and then you could add an alert here, and you could just say when it crosses that line, go ahead and alert me. You could do that to both sides, and then if we get across of either line, it'll alert you, and then you'll just know, like, hey, if I'm like, if I get an alert, then I should go check my charts. If I don't get the alert, then I guess we'll just wait around all the day, you know? Yeah. Interesting, though. I am thinking that we are going to break down. I don't know. Bitcoin definitely wants to break down. Ethereum's not showing too much of a strong breakdown yet. Like I said, there's that possibility here that we just break down. The only reason I would lean more bullish than bearish right now is just because of how, and look at our alert almost just got hit. Just the fact that Ethereum also called an up trade as well as Bitcoin. That's why I would be looking to the upside, but it does look like we need to grab our downside trade here to throw on. We actually just got our full on alert. So we'll go ahead and open our Bitcoin trade again. We'll copy that short, and we're going to go ahead and throw that on our chart. So we'll head back to Kuroda, we'll head back to our trade view here, open up our indicator here, and throw on our new trade. So looking to the downside. Here we go. Go ahead and flip this here, and we'll be ready to go for the downside. So we'll be taking it here on the down. We got our stop right here above 30-minute range, taking it to target 2. This is actually a jailbreak trade, so technically we could run to target 3. So as far as what I'd be watching for, I'd have my stop at target 3, and then be watching it at target 1, target 2. So we got our trade on there. That's what we'd be looking at for the downside. And we did just start to break down, so we'll see if we can continue down or if we're going to end up pulling back up. Ethereum is trying to pull up to the upside, and that's kind of something we've been watching as far as TA goes. What we've kind of noticed is that when you see, when you see either Ethereum or Solana going to trade with Bitcoin on either way, you can kind of watch that chart to kind of determine how Bitcoin's going to play out. So, for example, if Bitcoin and Ethereum are both have, like, what is she's today, you know, Ethereum and Bitcoin are both staying to the upside, right? Basically, what you're going to watch out for is, say Ethereum starts, or say Bitcoin starts to break down. We'll kind of be flipping back and forth between Ethereum and Bitcoin to kind of watch how Bitcoin or how Ethereum is actually going to handle the trade. So if you see like Bitcoin breaking down, it's about to break its down level, but Ethereum just keeps holding this level and running sideways. That's basically an indicator to tell us, like, maybe Bitcoin isn't actually going to break down. Maybe we're going to just trade sideways, or maybe it'll flip soon, because Ethereum really wants to run up, but basically what's holding it down is the fact that Bitcoin's trying to go down. So what will happen more than likely is you'll see Bitcoin start to flip and run to the upside, and then Ethereum all of a sudden will get some energy and start to fire out. And that's what we've typically seen. Basically, it's just like an early indicator that Bitcoin's, it's kind of setting up a bull trap in a way. It's gonna go down maybe a little bit, maybe even break the bottom line, maybe even break our breakdown line here. But Ethereum is telling us that it's not going to continue that. We're going to flip to the upside. And right now it's kind of showing that. We started to get that breakdown here. That's why I was kind of thinking, all right, well, here we go. We're going to actually break down. But then we rejected here, and now we're kind of holding this 30-minute high here on the on Ethereum on 15-minute. So we'll see. We got some pecan coffee again. We were out of it for a little while, so it's nice to have it back. Nut, like any kind of coffee with like nut flavors in it is always pretty good. Got an egg in it today. I feel like I definitely forgot something. I just don't. I think it was maybe butter. I don't remember. But there's definitely something that there's like. I don't know, I kind of like wasn't drinking coffee for a little bit because I was not too interested in drinking our other coffee. So yeah, now that we got pecan, I'll have to remember all my recipes and stuff. Definitely need it today though. It is freezing here in Texas. We were what was it, Sunday? Yeah, I guess it had to be Sunday. It was almost 90 degrees on Sunday. And then yesterday and today are both like cold. Like it didn't even break 50 yesterday, I think. And then today it's like 30s. Like we had a freeze warning last night. So I don't know, just kind of some crazy weather lately. And I think it's mostly like noticeable just because you went from like so warm all of a sudden to just like boom, freezing. We've had like high winds too, so it makes it even worse because you like walk outside and it's pretty windy, it's cold. Yeah, I don't know, that's it's kind of what's happening here in Texas. Little cold. Yeah, just kind of hanging around. There's not too much left other than just to kind of watch the charts. We got everything set up now. We're ready to go. All we need to do is just kind of hang around until we see it break either side. We'll give it till maybe 9:15 or so. If we don't start to see a move by then, I'll just leave it to y'all to watch. I'll kind of reiterate kind of what we're looking for again, and then we'll kind of close out the stream by then. That way y'all can kind of just keep an eye on it for today. It could be that we just sit here all day, you know, maybe we won't break out of either side. It doesn't happen very often, but it is a possibility. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more action tomorrow. Typically Wednesday is the better trading day of the week. One of the best days typically. Backtesting wise, we've typically seen about a 70% like fire rate on Wednesday, or win rate. I guess it wouldn't technically be win rate, but fire rate here on Wednesday. So yeah, typically Wednesdays are a little more active, so we'll see how it kind of plays out and see what ends up going on. But that's kind of what we're looking at for the day. Must be some construction going outside or something as well. We got, I don't know, there's like a guy driving like, I don't know what it'd be called, I guess. It's like a big skid steer basically. It's like a big skid steer. But I don't know, he keeps like, he's parking in front of our house, but then he's like working down the street, so I don't know what he's doing. I guess we'll have to wait and see what he's doing. Maybe he's doing, I don't know, maybe he's like working on something like throughout the neighborhood. I don't know. Or maybe he just didn't want to park in front of his house. I don't know. Yeah, and it keeps seeing like some big trucks drive by too, so maybe he's like, maybe they're like moving gravel or something. I don't know. Just kind of interesting. All right, here we go. Bitcoin's getting a little bit more of a breakdown here. And Ethereum is kind of confirming it here. Yeah, here we go. This is looking more and more like a breakdown for today. So I'm thinking that we probably will get more of a breakdown than a breakout today. That means just really Bitcoin that we'll be looking at for today. Like I said, you want to be watching Ethereum because there could be that fake out breakout type thing. But right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum are playing pretty evenly. I would say they're playing pretty evenly. You can see the candles are pretty close to matching up. As far as price action goes, you know, when one starts to go down, the other one starts to go down. When one flips bullish, the other's flipping bullish. Yeah. So I don't know. I would say more than likely will go down, but also there's this 15-minute 200 here, so there's a little bit of support underneath. Yeah, I mean there's a possibility for the upside too. So, you know, it's hard to kind of just call it like that. As far as it goes, it could go either way today. That's why we're just kind of watching it, sitting back, relaxing. You know, waiting for the system to just tell us it's time to jump in, time to take a trade. It does look like Ethereum wants to break down a little bit more than Bitcoin now. Yeah, and I mean, you can really get into the analysis type stuff, but overall, we're just kind of waiting for it to either break down and close below this line, or break up and close above the green line up here. Yeah, I mean, just overall, more than likely, I think we'll come down and close below here. But like I said, that's just based off of a little bit of experience and stuff like that. The system hasn't confirmed anything yet, so it's not like I'm taking a trade on that thought. We're just kind of hanging out, watching, seeing what will happen. Another 11 minutes or so, we'll see what we can get here. Maybe this will be the candle we break down and close below on. If we do get that close below, we'll be looking for the trade down. Yeah, it is interesting that 200 is there. That could be the support that we need to stay above our breakout line. But it could also just be the thing that we need to break before we'll see the down run. We'll see. It does look like Ethereum is confirming the down trade here, with Ethereum kind of getting that breakdown right here. And you can see it's kind of following suit with Bitcoin as well. Both of them are kind of battling their different moving averages. The Ethereum's got that 21 there, and then Bitcoin's obviously got the 200 here on the 15. So we'll see. I think if we close below one, we'll more than likely close below the other. Obviously, Ethereum's is a little bit higher than Bitcoin's, but it seems like they're both kind of playing with them pretty evenly. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Got another 10 minutes or so. We'll be watching this candle, and then we'll see what happens. If we do end up getting the trade, we'll stay on. We'll talk about it a little bit. If not, you know, we'll kind of close out the stream. We'll call it a day on that, and you'll just be able to watch it as we go into it. The interesting thing I would say for the downside trade, if we do end up getting it, is just that there's no real resistance down here besides this green one. So like I was saying, these are kind of like book maps, different levels, I guess you could say. And typically what you'll see with bookmap is when you get a level kind of like this, you'll come down and hit it. So, you know, we tried to use them as targets for a while. The hard thing is without kind of knowing the direction and stuff like that, it's a lot harder to take them. And then just, it doesn't always come down right to there. Maybe target 3 is kind of where it will stop. And that'll be it, kind of coming close to that level. And also, like, sometimes, you know, it's like today where there's some at the top, some at the bottom. Obviously, there's more at the top because we got two different resistances lines there. You can see we got this orangish, I think it's actually red, but with this yellow color behind it, it makes it look orange. So we got both of those right up there, and then we got this green one down here. So if you were gonna guess, you know, you'd think, oh, we're gonna come up to where both of these are because that's just a stronger like pull to it. But I don't know, it's not very, it's just looking more like we're gonna go to the downside. So that, yeah, there's a possibility, I guess, we come down here to that 70,000 range, 70,300, 70,400 kind of range. And you know, like, sometimes you just see it come down and kind of tap it. More than likely, I'd be looking for just that target 3 overall. But we are rejecting a little bit off of that 200. Ethereum's still not showing a ton of strength to the upside, so I would say we are looking more for a downside trade here, as far as both of them playing together kind of go. Yeah, I mean, look at Ethereum just, well, now it's flipped back, but it flipped to the bear side. Now it's like barely on the bull side, and you got Bitcoin trying to make a pretty decent little candle there on the bull side. So have to see. And Terry's right, it could be a no trade day as well. So we'll have to see what happens here on the market. Yeah, you could just be running sideways through the levels all day. We are, like I said, we're watching for it to either break that breakout level or break the breakdown level. But until one of those happens, we aren't going to take anything off the system. So we'll just be sitting here. We'll be watching price action, but we're not going to take it either way. Like I said, you can throw your alerts on here. Like, we could restart this alert here. Probably need to delete it and then redo it. Just like that. There we go. Got our alert on there now again. You know, now you could like walk away from the chart and just not look at it. There we go. Ethereum's trying to push up a little bit here. Bitcoin's telling us it's going to pull down again now. So I don't know. You know, it's just kind of playing with both of them. Yep. Yep. Maybe St. Patty's Day, you know. You won't see a lot here. Would be nice to make some green. Would be nice. I guess either way we'll be making green. Doesn't really matter if it goes up or goes down. But if it went up, we'd have green on green, double green on St. Patty's Day. That'd be kind of nice. But I don't know. We'll see which direction we go. Like I said, we got another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll just be, we'll just head out as long as this doesn't end up breaking down like right now. Yeah. So just to kind of reiterate, kind of what we already said. There's a possibility for either way here on Bitcoin, so we can either go down, we can go up. If we do go down, we'll be looking at taking it when it breaks that 73,300 level, and closing below there, and then on the 15 we'll be looking to take the next candle if it does that. If it does break up, then we'll be looking for around that 74,500-ish level, 550 or so. We'll be looking to take it to the upside there. We'll need that close on the 15 to get it in on the next candle, take it to the upside. You want to make sure your stop is down below this 30-minute range. And again, none of this is any kind of financial advice or anything like that. We're just here for educational purposes only, but it could go either way, like I'm saying. So I am leaning more to the short side right now, just based off of how price actions kind of played out and how just how the lines are kind of set up for today, and then also knowing the longer time frames, kind of what we need. That's what I would lean more towards, is that downside. But like I said, according to the system, we're not going to be looking at it unless we get that breakdown below the breakdown line. On Ethereum here, if we do end up breaking to the upside, we'll be looking to take it up to around 2,500 level. That'll be kind of the trade for today. So if you guys want to get a little screenshot of this or something to kind of be watching this, I guess, on the chart, we can do this for the other one as well. So if you want to pause the video here too and get a screenshot, and that's our short position here on BTC. Here, I'll throw it up there a little bit longer. But yeah, that's kind of what we'll be watching as far as that trade kind of goes. Yeah, overall though, could go either way. Could be looking for that upside trade as well. But that's the downside for BTC. We're looking for that upside for Ethereum if we, depending on which way we go, and we'll flip to that upside here on Bitcoin as well if we do start to flip up that way. But yeah, that's kind of the look for today. That's kind of what we're looking at. We got about another minute and 20 before this candle closes. Not looking super likely we're going to break down here, at least on this candle. So we'll see what happens as the day kind of runs out. Like Terry said, it could just be a sideways chop all day. Could be no real trade today. It just depends on what happens in the next little bit here. I would think kind of by 10 it'll probably pick a direction. That'd be my guess. Could it take longer? Yeah, it definitely could take longer. On either of them, could take longer. I don't know. Could take all day. You know, we could be sitting around sideways, like Terry's saying. So, yeah, we'll see which way we go. Yeah. I know some of you are probably like, "Oh man, I wish you'd just tell us the direction," but really, we just don't know. You know, we haven't. You know, every trader is only as good as his system, really, and our system hasn't picked a direction yet. So I can tell you, based off of like experience and knowledge and stuff like that, it looks like it's going to go down. but you know, until we confirm that on our system, it's just a guess, you know, educated guess, I guess, but a guess nonetheless. So yeah, we'll see which way we head out. But yeah, thanks for watching. Just make sure you've got those on your chart, you're checking them out. Yeah, again, we're not here to give you any kind of financial advice or anything like that, just for educational purposes only. But yeah, hopefully y'all are watching those today, seeing what happens. We'll be on the live tomorrow. We'll kind of go over this trade and kind of see what happened with it. See, maybe we broke up, maybe we broke down. I don't know. We'll see. And then yeah, we'll jump into it. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Hopefully that was helpful for y'all. Yeah, we'll be live again at 8:30 tomorrow. So if you guys are looking to hang out with us again, jump into the charts, hopefully get a little bit better, more action day. We'll be back live here on yeah, at 8:30 tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for watching. Happy trading to y'all, and we will catch y'all tomorrow.